it's DenisLD, and you're finally watching season 6 of DM's Montreal beer review. The beer for today, as you've probably already learned, is Ommegang Abbey Ale. We're going to start with that. I brought it from the new Beer Distributors beer shop in Manhattan, New York, and it's going to be my first beer from brewery Ommegang. It's a peculiar brewery because it's been an American craft brewery out of Cooperstown, New York. It's got the Belgian spirit in it. First of all, it's specialised in Belgian ales, pretty much all they brew. I've heard the brewmaster is also Belgian, as well as they've actually been owned by a Belgian company called Duvel Mourgat, something like that, which makes, they make Duvel and Maritsu and other beers like that. It's a double style beer, 8.5% ABV, a bit strong. Dubel's usually between 7 and 8, but it's okay. I've heard it's a really good beer. So it says it's a Belgian style Abbey Double yielding a rich, fruity and aromatic Burgundian brew. Ommegang Abbey Double is inspired by the centuries-old brewing traditions of Belgian Trappist monks. Named after Belgium's oldest medieval fest, every bottle of Ommegang is cause for celebration. Ommegang means, in Dutch, it means something like walk around. Either way, we're going to crack it open, review it. Nice, lovely cap. Definitely saving that for my collection. Although I'm not quite entirely sure what I'm going to do with the collection later, but I'm just keeping the caps and trying to preserve them in the perfect condition. Alright, so let's open the beer. This beer smells very nice already. Right from the bottle I can tell it's got some nice sort of cherries and plums, dark fruit, and a fair amount of caramel and roastedness. I'm going to be using my Chimay goblet for this occasion. That is a lovely body. Didn't have like it just came naturally like that. Yeah, quite classic, cloudy kind of burgundy or ruby red, mahogany color, whatever you want to call it. First I'm going to smell it. Very lively yeast strain. Probably with some Belgian candy sugar. Definitely cherries and plums. Definitely a good roastiness and definitely some good toffee-like caramel notes. Some carbonation, some bubbles, and a pretty nice frothy light caramel head. Let's give it a try. Right from the start I get an immensely flavorful beer sensation in my mouth, but at the same time it's kind of boozy. The alcohol's there, and I'm serving this pretty much out of the fridge, but having said everything, the booziness is there, but it's really robust. The roasting is up front together with some nice caramel. It's crisp at this point, sort of reminds me of Chimay Red in the way that it's fairly highly carbonated. It's very bready. The fruits are not, as abundant, but I guess I could smell a bit more of that dark fruit than I'm tasting right now. Definitely good medium body, not too light, not too thick or anything like that. Slightly burnt, roasted character, especially in the finish, with some nice bitterness, I guess comes from the roasted malt. Well, all in all, the alcohol is there. You're going to feel it's not overwhelming, but it's there. With these new reviews with season 6, I'm going to grade the beer on each sort of category, sort of the similar thing you do on Beer Advocate and similar websites. So for the appearance, it definitely looks like a proper double. So I'm going to give this at least a 9. It looks beautiful. It looks appropriate, maybe even better than the typical double. As far as the aroma, I'm thinking an 8 because it's I'd prefer Vestmalle in terms of the aroma. It was a bit more robust, and I think I'm even getting some alcohol in the aroma, so 8 for aroma. For the taste, if I were just given this beer in a blind kind of tasting, you'd probably say that this is a true beer for Belgium. And having said everything I said about the brewery, you could consider this a Belgian brewery from the US. They tried to sort of put an extra effort and make it a little a step above, I guess, by bringing the ABV a little up. But I don't think it's quite entirely there. in my opinion, doubles are not supposed to be as immensely, powerful This is more appropriate for like a triple or something. So for taste, I'm going to give this a 7. And for the mouthfeel, same thing there, because I mean, it doesn't really bother you that much, the alcohol, but it's there right from the start. Usually it should, you know, come out after a while, but anyway. I'll take a little break. These are the grades for now, and then I'll sort of sum up and give my final thoughts. There's no doubt that this is a double. It's a very good example of the style nevertheless, so cheers. Yeah, I've got mixed feelings towards this beer. It's just, you know, on one hand it's really tasty, it's really authentic, it's really well brewed. I mean, there's no doubt that this is a good example of style. It smells better than some, you know, some real Belgian dubbels, and it looks quite good as well. So my grades are staying for those categories. But all the while, the booziness is still there. It's not going anywhere, and it doesn't really get worse. But it's already bad as it is. And it's not just, you know, the spiciness you get in the beer, like in Chimay I was getting the peppery notes on my tongue, kind of prickling it. But here it's just that pure ethanol taste. So you feel it in the finish, you feel it in even in the aroma and in the body, certainly. So I think they might have, you know, pushed the limit a bit too far with the ABV here, or at least they should have, you know, tried to mask it better. But all the while, if you don't consider that, it's a balanced beer. It's really tasty. It's got everything you want and expect in an Abbey double, as far as the tasting notes go. It's not a hassle to drink, but I wouldn't say that this is a very drinkable beer, so that's a 7 as well. It's not failing, I mean, it's enjoyable. So a 7 for drinkability and mouthfeel as well as taste, which altogether adds up to a 7 out of 10. That's my final grade. But all in all, I'm not disappointed. I'm definitely, maybe it's just a bad bottle or something. I'll definitely seek out more Ommegang beers in the future. And I recommend this one, maybe, you know, try it for yourself. I might actually be going to New York City in the next few weeks or so for just a few days. I'm not entirely sure, but if I do, I'll definitely try to get more Ommegang beers. I've heard their wit beer is really good, as well as the Three Philosophers, which is a quadruple. But for now, this was just the first episode of DM's Montreal Beer Review Season 6. See you in the next episode. I can promise that quite a few American beers are coming up next. So stay tuned. In the meantime, you can watch my older reviews. And stick to good beer, guys. Bye.